Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle back with another video, and today I want to do my Naruto review, episode 53 review, English dub. So here it goes. Episode starts out with the the guy with glasses is all fucking knocked out and shit like that. Naruto is trying to Naruto is trying to fucking wake him up and shit like that. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" and stuff like that with it. Naruto did the Thousand Years of Death move on the guy who honestly was knocked out and didn't really did shit to him and shit like that. And then Naruto was like yelling at fucking Jiraiya and shit like that, saying, "What the fuck? You fucking knocked him out cold and shit like that." And then freaking Jiraiya was actually saying something about he's like he was interrupting my fucking research and shit like that. And then we all know what Jiraiya's research technically is and shit. So Naruto, he's like, no, you're fucking peeping and shit like that. And then he's like, be quiet and shit like that. He's like, I'm not doing that shit and crap. And then freaking, and then all the ladies in the hot spring fucking ran out and shit like that. They fucking ran out. And then Dry was like, no, shit, my research and crap like that. And then Naruto called him the pervy sage and shit. So Naruto actually called him a pervy sage and shit like that. And then Dry was trying to Dry was like Naruto was saying like, oh, you need to train me and shit like that. And then freaking Jiraiya was like, he's like, I'm not gonna do it and stuff like that. So Jiraiya fucking leaves and shit like that. And then Naruto is like, oh, he's mostly a perv, but he knows what he knows what hit all the moves and shit like that with it. So Naruto was technically fucking following him. He doesn't know where he's at there. He's like, where the fuck is he and shit. Man, we hear Jiraiya getting fucking slapped. Fucking Jiraiya gets fucking slapped by a chick there, and he's like, he's like, well, I'm trying to research your hand and stuff like that. And then she she fucking slaps him, and she's like, and then the lady fucking walks away from him and shit like that. Yeah. Naruto was like, what? He's like, how I can do you're like affecting and your training and stuff like that. And Dry didn't really want to like technically train Naruto and shit, uh, because he wants to do his research and shit like that. He's like you're bothering me with my research and shit like that. So freaking freaking Jiraiya was he left there and shit like that. So uh in the next scene we see fucking Jiraiya smoking a fucking pipe and shit. And and then he's like finally and stuff like that, and then he imagines all the girls in the clouds and shit. When he was like imagining shit like that with the fucking Naruto comes, and he's like we're in, and Naruto is like, huh, okay, where is he and shit like that. So he did like a substitution jutsu there. Um, he came as he turned into himself in a doll and shit like that. And Naruto was like, oh yeah, he's used the substitution jutsu, and so he walked away and stuff like that. And Jiraiya's like, "Ooh," he's like, "I dodged that," and then Naruto pops out of nowhere. He's like, "Really, you fucking dodged that shit like that?" And he's like, "Oh, come on," and stuff like that. So, freaking, Jiraiya was actually, he's like, Naruto or not Naruto, but Jiraiya was saying, "Okay, I can train you if you." Give me something like Kirby and stuff like that, like mostly was talking about mostly we Jiraiya is talking about a woman and stuff like that, and Naruto was like, he was like, oh, something curvy and stuff like that, and so he was gonna go get it and shit. Jiraiya went over to see those girls and shit like that, and then he was talking to the girls and shit, saying about and stuff like that. Comes Naruto comes back and stuff like that, and he's like, "Hey, pervy," and then they're like, they're like, he just called he's just the ladies are like, oh, he called you pervy and shit like that, and he's like you little shit and shit like that. He was like you little shit and crap. And then freaking Naruto gets like a freaking watermelon and shit like that. He gets a fucking watermelon and shit, and he's like, oh yeah, I found this curvy and stuff like that, and he's like, you fucking dumb ass, and then he's like, and then he freaking chops up the watermelon, gives like Naruto the watermelon and stuff like that, so they were eating fucking watermelon, and then fucking uh uh he's like I have to like go and stuff like Jiraiya's like, oh, I have to fucking go and shit like that, and then Naruto's like, wait, you need to help me train and stuff like that. He's like, oh, I can't do that and shit like that. He's like, the one I was talking about, he was talking about a woman and stuff like that, and then Naruto was like a woman and stuff, so Naruto did his sexy jutsu he did his sexy jutsu there and stuff like that, and then he fucking was like saying, he's like, and then Jiraiya was like, oh, and crap like that. Actually, um, going over his sexy jutsu, and he's like, yeah, he's like a +10 and shit like that. And he's like, how the heck you find her and shit like that. And then freaking Naruto's like saying like, well, that's my sexy jutsu and shit like that. And then and then he's like, and then Jiraiya was like saying like, oh yeah, I can help you your training, but you have to stay in that form. And then Naruto was like, really? He's like, really there? He's like, really have to stay in this freaking form and stuff like that. And then Naruto turns back and he's like, you perv and shit like that. And mostly he was saying stuff like that with it. So in the next scene, uh, um, Naruto or Jiraiya was helping Naruto out with his training and stuff like that. Um, he was doing the water technique. Jiraiya was saying like, "Oh, I'll do the water technique and stuff like that." So Naruto falls in the water. Jiraiya freaking laughs. He's like, "Haha." He's like, "You fell in the fucking water and shit." And then he's like, "Oh, he's like, I'm trying to do my best and stuff like that." So he takes off the clothes, and then he's like, he's like, do it again and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm trying and stuff. So he tries to do it again. The he knows there's like some type of seal is like actually interrupting the chakras there with the nine tails chakra and Naruto's chakra. It was like interrupting with it. So Jiraiya was like telling him to put his hands up high and stuff like that. So he released the one what he released Orochimaru's seal, or Jiraiya actually releases Orochimaru's seal and stuff like that for it. So, and then he said tried it again. Naruto tries it again and stuff like that with the with the thing. He's like, oh yeah, I fucking did it and stuff like that. He's like, I fucking did it and shit. And then they were saying something about when they're going back, and he's like, I'm pretty much done with you and stuff like that. That's what Jiraiya was saying. He's like, come on, I want to learn and stuff like that for it. And then and then Naruto was actually following what Jiraiya was doing and stuff. And then fucking they said something about like they were cracking some jokes and they're like trying to relax and recover and shit. And then um, the guy with the glasses was talking to Jiraiya there, and he was saying something about he's like, you're the only one can stop Orochimaru there and shit like that. That's what he was saying. And then Jiraiya was like saying like, well, he's like, well, I have a thing there. He's like, he's like, only here for a book and stuff like that. That's what he was saying. And then the end of the episode, he was actually the guy with glasses was saying like, you're the only one can stop him. So yep, that's pretty much it. Comment, rate my response to this videos. We like my videos. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification for more uploads. Comment, my response to this videos. We like hang out. Peace.